The Little Match Girl. It was a very cold evening. The snow fell and it was almost dark. It was the last day of the year. A little match girl was running in the street. Her name was Gretchen. She had no hat on and her feet were bare too. When she left home, she had put on some of her mother's large slippers, but they were so large that she lost them when she ran across the street. Gretchen had a lot of matches in her old apron. She held a bunch in her hand as well. But she could not sell any of her matches. No one would buy them. Poor little Gretchen. She was very cold and very hungry. The snow fell on her curly hair, but she did not think about that. She saw lights in the houses nearby and she smelled delicious things being cooked. She said to herself, "Today must be the last day of the year." Gretchen got colder and colder, but she was afraid to go home. She knew that her father would be very mad at her if she did not take home any money because she could not sell any matches. Plus, it was just as cold at home as in the streets, because Gretchen's family was too poor to have a fireplace. They had to put rags in the windows to keep out the wind. Gretchen did not even have a bed. She had to sleep on a pile of rags. Gretchen sat down on a doorstep. Her little hands were almost frozen. Then she took out a little match and lighted it to warm her hands. The match looked like a little candle. Gretchen imagined that she was sitting by a big stove. It was so bright. She put the match near her feet to warm them. But then the light went out, and she did not think that she was by the stove anymore. Gretchen lighted another match. This time she imagined that she could look into a room. In this room, there was a very large table and pretty dishes were placed on the table. On one of the dishes, there was a delicious roast turkey which was cooked and ready to be eaten. Knives and forks were also neatly placed on the table. Suddenly, the turkey jumped from the dish and ran towards Gretchen. But then the light went out and Gretchen was left in the cold and dark again. So Gretchen lighted another match. This time she imagined that she was sitting by a large Christmas tree. There were so many candles on the tree and it was full of beautiful things. Gretchen put up her little hands to touch the Christmas tree. The lights on the Christmas tree went up and up until Gretchen saw that they were actually the stars in the night sky. Then Gretchen saw a star fall. "Someone must be dying," little Gretchen said to herself. Gretchen's grandmother once told her that when a star falls from the sky, someone is going to God. Gretchen's grandmother had been very good to her, but she has passed away. Gretchen lighted another match. It made a big light and Gretchen imagined that she saw her grandmother again. Her grandmother had never looked so beautiful before. "Oh, Grandma, please take me with you," said little Gretchen. "When the light goes out, you will go away too. The stove, the turkey, and the Christmas tree, they all went away. Please don't leave me alone." Then Gretchen lighted a whole bunch of matches because she wanted to keep her grandmother with her. The matches made it very bright. And the grandmother took little Gretchen in her arms and they went up and up, where they would never be cold or hungry again, because they were with God. The next day came, and some men found a little girl in the street. She had passed away last night in the cold. In her hand were a bunch of burnt matches. "Poor little thing," said the men. She must have frozen to death in the night. But they did not know how happy little Gretchen was in heaven.